Hi there, smart drivers. Rick with Smart Drive Test talking to you today about how to set up the vehicle. This video is for brand new drivers who are just getting started learning how to drive. It's important to set up the vehicle and have it set up correctly. That way you have total control of the vehicle and you're comfortable. These techniques will work for any vehicle, and that's the great thing about them. Just follow the steps, and if you're moving around between vehicles, it'll help you out to get the vehicle set up. There's 8 steps. Put the key in the ignition, and I know that in some US states they don't want you to put the key in the ignition until you're actually ready to drive, but for the purposes of not losing the key, put it in the ignition. The next piece is the seat. Set up the seat, the back and the front, so that you're comfortable and have total control of the vehicle. The seat belt. The mirrors, set up the mirrors so that you can see and observe correctly during your drive. Nothing on the dash, nothing on the ledge, on the back window if you're driving a car. Setting up the vents, checking the brake, and making sure that the brake works properly. If the brake doesn't work properly, you have to take the vehicle to a mechanic and get it checked. And the last piece, lock the doors. Those are the 8 steps for setting up the vehicle. We'll be right back to give you greater detail about those 8 steps. Hi there, smart drivers. Welcome back. Rick with Smart Drive Test talking to you today about how to set up the vehicle for your first driving lesson. The first thing you do when you get in the vehicle, take the key, put the key in the ignition. That way the key is not going to get lost and you know where it is. Second piece is to set up the seat so that you are comfortable and have total control of the vehicle while you're driving. So to set up the seat, sit square in the seat, forward like this, put your foot underneath the brake pedal on the floor. There should be a nice slight bend in your leg in the way that you can see here on my leg, because I have the seat adjusted for myself. The back of the seat on all vehicles goes backwards and forwards, and there's a lever down on the side of the seat to adjust the back forward and backwards. You put your hand on the top of the steering wheel, there should be just a slight bend in your arm, and the reason for that is that you have total control of the vehicle when you've got 2 hands on the steering wheel. As well, the head restraint should be at the base of your skull, so that way if you are unfortunate enough to be rear-ended, your head comes back and is protected against whiplash. It is not a headrest, it is a head restraint. The seat belt. Pull the seat belt out. What I do is pull the seat belt out, I grab it down here, I slide this up to get more slack in the seat belt, pull it across, fasten the seat belt, pull this snug, and this hand I use to make sure that the seat belt is flat, and make sure that this is flat and across your shoulder, and this piece down here below your hips. If you're a woman and pregnant, make sure that it is below your belly and on your hips. Do not have it across your belly, because that is dangerous in the event of a collision and will harm your baby. So ensure that you have it under your tummy and down and across your hips. So that's the seat belt. Some seat belts will have an adjustment here, as this one does, and you can move the seat belt up and down depending on if you're taller than I am. That way it's more comfortable and not up on your neck and causing abrasion on your neck and irritating you. So that's another thing that you can do here as well. Next part is the mirrors. This mirror on the top here, to adjust this mirror, you should be able, in the left hand corner of the mirror, just see a little bit of the side of your head, and the top of the mirror should be adjusted across the top of the rear window on the back of the vehicle. So you adjust this so the top of the mirror is right at the back of the window at the rear, and this side, the left side of the mirror, will just be able to see a little side of your head, just a tiny bit. That's how you set up that mirror. The outside mirror, you should be able to see side of the vehicle on the inside of the mirror, just a little bit of the vehicle. The horizon should be across the middle of the mirror. That will set up the mirror for you on the outside. Now, it can take a little bit of adjustment to kind of figure out where the horizon is on the middle of the mirror, but with a little bit of practice you'll be able to get that. The horizon should be across the middle of the mirror, and you should be able to see a little bit of the vehicle on the inside of the mirror. Next thing is the dash. There shouldn't be anything on the dash, no sunglasses, gloves, or anything like that, because when you go around a corner, it's going to go spinning off and you're going to try and reach for it, and when you reach for it, you're going to lose control of your vehicle and not be looking where you're going. So make sure that there's nothing on the dash, there's nothing on the rear ledge of the rear window if you're driving a car as well. Just keep in mind that a tissue box, for example, has the same force as a brick in the event of a high-speed collision. So it's imperative that you keep the dash clear, make sure that there isn't anything on the rear window as well. And the other thing that's dangerous in vehicles floating around in the event of a crash are the steering wheel locks. Those steering wheel locks sitting in the back there will cause an incredible amount of damage if they're flying around inside of the vehicle. So I encourage you to put them someplace that they're going to be secure, like in the trunk or someplace else where they're not going to cause you harm in the event of a crash. The next thing you want to set up is the 4 vents so that they're not blowing on you and causing distraction as well. It provides good circulation in the vehicle. So the one on the driver's side, set it up so it's approximately at the middle, but it is blowing out along the side of the vehicle. In the wintertime, this will keep the side windows defrosted. The middle ones, having one pointing down towards the floor, which will cause circulation, and the other one pointed up so it circulates air this way. The one on the far side, have it pointed out and at the midpoint going out along the side of the vehicle. That way you'll get really good circulation in the vehicle, and it helps in the wintertime to defrost the windows when they need to be defrosted. As well, in the wintertime, just another quick tip, roll the window down a crack, that way it'll help to defrost the windows faster. The next piece is to check the brake, and you simply put your foot on the brake, and the brake should maintain constant pressure. It should not drop. If the brake pedal drops, you should have it checked by a mechanic because the brakes are defective. It should hold it down and it should hold pressure at that one place. The last piece is to lock the doors on the vehicle. Push that down, lock the doors. The reason that you want to lock the doors is twofold. The first reason is in the event of a rollover, it will keep the doors closed and the vehicle is stronger with the doors closed. If the doors fly open, the vehicle loses its strength and potentially could cause greater damage and harm to you and the passengers in the vehicle. The next thing is it keeps thieves out. If you have something sitting on the seat and somebody runs up in traffic and opens your door and steals something off the seat, well, if the doors are locked, it can't get in. Many new vehicles have the feature that once the vehicle attains 20 kilometers an hour in a forward motion, it will automatically lock the doors, but it's just a good habit to get into to lock the doors. In conclusion, key in the dash, set up the seat, nice bend in the legs, backwards and forwards on the base of the seat, the back of the seat, forwards and backwards, so you have a nice slight bend in your arm when you put your hand on the top of the steering wheel. Head restraint should hold your head in the event of a rear end collision, so this bottom piece of the head restraint should be at the base of your skull. Seat belt, make sure it's flat and it's across your hips and on your shoulder, and there's an adjustment for people who are taller or shorter so that it's not rubbing against your neck on the shoulder strap. Setting up the mirror, you should be able to see a little bit the side of your head in the inside of the mirror, and the top of the mirror should be in line with the top of the rear window. The outside mirror, you should be able to see a little bit of the vehicle on the inside of the mirror, and the horizon will be across the middle of the mirror. Nothing on the dash that you have to chase in the event that you go around a corner and to cause distraction, potentially could cause you to lose control of the vehicle and end up in a crash. The vents, nice circulation through the vehicle. The more circulation that you get, the less fatigued you're going to be during driving, and in the wintertime it'll help to keep the windows defrosted. The last piece is to check the brake to ensure the brakes are working correctly. You want to push down. The brake pedal should depress slightly and then stop, and shouldn't go any farther. If it continues to drop all the way to the floor, take it to a mechanic and have them check it. Finally, you should be able to put the toe of your other foot up underneath the brake pedal. If you can't get your other foot up underneath the brake pedal, again, you should take it to a mechanic and have it checked by a professional technician. The last piece, lock the doors. It maintains the strength of the vehicle in the event of a rollover, and it keeps thieves out and keeps you in the vehicle for the purposes of safety. I'm Rick with Smart Drive Test. Thanks very much for watching. If you like what you see here, share, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section. All of that helps us out. Question for my smart drivers. Do you have a tip for new drivers to help them get going and to increase their learning? Thanks very much for watching. Remember, pick the best answer, not necessarily the right answer. Good luck in your road test. Have a great day. Bye now.